In today's video, we're going to address the overall market once again. The stock market is continuing a slow, choppy downtrend. And we're going to look at some day trading opportunities that occur during the day. I'm going to share with you guys my trade. And I'm also going to be sharing with y'all some stocks that y'all should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow. All right. So let's dive right into it right off the bat. We have the SPY, and again, the downtrend is still there, still going slowly, chopping in this channel right here. Right now, it's at the bottom of the channel. I don't want to be biased and say that, oh, we're gonna jump immediately. Again, during these conditions, it's best to take things day by day. Like, you never know if there is gonna be 2 consecutive green days or 2 consecutive red days, or just a whole mess on the daily chart. As you can see, looking at SPY itself, let's look at SPY. All right, this is what I mean. You just don't know exactly like what the next candle will be or how it will open. It's very, very choppy, right? And the candles are not very big either. Okay, so that's when you have to be really, really careful, especially if you're trying to swing. During this environment, the best thing to do is to day trade or to look at a sector that is making things a bit more obvious for the next 24 hours, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos. All right, so but as of right now, with the way things are looking, the trend is bearish. So look for bearish opportunities during the day. Now, there was one today. Let's look at the 5-minute. And as you can see on the charts, there was one right over here on the SPY. First and foremost, the rejection after the gap down. You see, like, there was people getting in right here. And then once it opened up lower and got rejected from this previous level of support, it started forming this bearish pattern and then eventually collapsed. Now, another clue that the final drop was coming was, if you look at the VIX, the VIX had a similar situation on their intraday. The VIX formed a bullish pennant, which made things even more, I would say, more obvious for that last trade right here. Will the VIX open up higher? I wouldn't be surprised. The bullish pennant intraday is there. The bullish pennant on the 4-hour is there. As you can see right here, I had it drawn this morning. And ideally, usually, when bullish pennants are this clean, what comes after is a ridiculous move, which obviously may not be good for the overall markets. If this plays out the way we've seen it play out, the way it's supposed to play out, the SPY and QQQ are going to tank by a lot. Again, it's a matter of how it does so. It hasn't been very smooth throughout the last 2 weeks, but when I'm looking at this, it kind of makes sense. Like, this bullish pennant was cooking while the overall market was chopping slowly downwards, and today looks like the day where maybe the chop might end. Who knows? But again, as of right now, just take things day by day. The VIX is bullish right now, and if things play out well, we might see the VIX around like 18 or 19 bucks very, very soon. All right, now the trade that we took, I didn't take a trade on SPY. I took a trade on something that showed the same structure at the same time, and that trade was on CRM right here. All right, I was looking at CRM and AMAP right here. I was patiently just waiting for my alert to ring, because I like to trade with the alerts. It kind of like, it removes any type of like hesitancy. Like, I hear the bell ring, I hear the breakdown, and to me it's kind of like, oh, it's time to take a trade. That's just how I trade. It's just how I'm used to trading. I find it a lot easier, and trades just go smoother that way. So I was just waiting for this thing, and then eventually it started breaking down. I thought it was a little sus when it broke down, because the volume wasn't the best, but there was other factors to consider that kind of convinced me to take that trade. So I got in on this one. At 154 right after that candle closed with puts, and the price target for it was the green circle right here at 206.5, and the stock kept dropping and dropping, and then 30 minutes later, more like 40 minutes later, I ended up selling half of my contracts, which I bought them for 154, and then I started selling them at 198. Let's go back to the chart. Let's change this thing to the 1 minute. That way there's more candles for y'all. So again, I like to trade structures. For those of you who are new, we trade structures all the time. That's all we do. All right. As if you don't know that already, this is a bearish pennant, and we got in here, and then I sold half at 234, which is right here. When I saw this thing kind of spike a little bit, I took some of my money off. All right, then I waited for the other half to see if it could go to 206.50, and instead of doing that, the stock was not that generous. It showed me a double bottom right here, and then I ended up exiting out of my position completely right in this candle right there for nearly the same price at like 198 and then 194 right here. So nearly like a 30% gain. Again, I didn't expect, obviously, from this move, it's not that massive of a gain because it's Tuesday and the stock didn't go where it was supposed to go. But maybe tomorrow we will see this thing drop some more. But I decided to just take everything out and wait until the morning. Maybe we see something different. Maybe it opens higher, right? Forms a different structure, and maybe it goes the other way again. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I see at the time that I see it. I like to keep things very, very simple when I trade, especially when the SPY and QQQ are being very choppy. All right, you don't want to complicate things. There's a time to swing, and there's a time not to swing. Right now, we're in a time not to swing. Okay, so that's just some tips for those of y'all who may be new to trading. You gotta learn when to slow down a little bit. Now, let's do an update. Yesterday, I mentioned a stock to keep on your watch list, and this one showed a bullish pennant, but the opening wasn't very convincing at all. Like, as soon as it opened lower, anybody who bought right here, like, that's their stop loss right there at 74.77. And if it opens lower than that, like, it's all gonna trigger and everybody's just gonna get out quickly. All right, so this one, looking at it today, it didn't have any hopes. I didn't have any hopes in it of going up here, especially because it didn't open where I wanted it to open. And the same applies for Apple as well, because Apple showed the same thing. Let me just clean that up. All right, Apple showed the same thing, and we took a trade on Apple. We actually bought Apple for a swing for the same expectations, and I took a tiny loss on there because my contract was for the 25th. So we got in these regions, and then I added again at the same price at like 179.20ish, and then I was waiting for this thing to actually like open and go above 180. But given the circumstances with the SPY and this thing not really pushing as I wanted, I immediately got out. Like, I got out at like 841. This is where I got out right here. Like, it wasn't gonna make it. The volume was trash. The SPY was rolling over. It didn't open higher. You know, a lot of things just didn't go right with this trade specifically. So I just got out. Again, if the stock doesn't do what you want it to do, get out. There's always another opportunity later on during the day. All right, no hoping when you're trading, people. No hoping. Now, one stock for tomorrow that is announcing earnings is Target. And Target, let's see how it's looking. I think I mentioned Target. I think I did yesterday. I think Target had like an all-day fader. This is an all-day fader. We pop and then we just fade all day. And right now it's below that line 130, which is below a long-term line of supports, and they got earnings tomorrow morning. It's not looking that great. Let me change it to the daily. All right, looking at the daily, I'm sure y'all can see the bearish pennant on the chart, because I literally just showed y'all the same thing that we took a day trade on today with CRN. It's the same structure. Again, people, structure, that's what we do. Structure make things easier. All right, so we got this bearish pennant right there. It broke down a few days ago. Not the greatest volume, again, similar to what CRM did, but it's still playing out right now. Like today had kind of a big sell-off. The contracts are getting inflated. We'll see how it opens up tomorrow. Like if it opens up lower, and let's say they miss earnings and they miss some sales, or they miss their EPS, and it opens lower, let's say at like 120, I do expect a flush all the way down to like 115. I do. Because there's a lot of people, again, there's individuals right here who are hoping for a good reaction from it, right? And the price right now is not too far away from their stop loss from just cutting this thing loose and just looking at something else. So if something good doesn't happen in tomorrow's earnings, we could see this thing take a turn for the worse. All right, so keep that one in mind. Keep that one in mind. All right, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm as always. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe as well. All right. If you would like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them, the details of the contracts, the price target, and most importantly, the most important thing, the reason why I'm taking trades to begin with. All right. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't followed me on social media yet, you can find me at NGumah in the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if you're interested in getting some free stocks, you can use the third link in the description of the video below to sign up with Webull. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah, the Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. All right. Now I'll see all of you in the next video.